Oh, yeah.
Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So yesterday, Eunice and I was coming from a couple of meetings, and we were in the car, and usually when I'm riding, I'm listening to a lot of Sirius XM for a couple of reasons. I like news, one, two, I like to listen to the channels that run my jokes and go over and see if they play any of them. And then I just like the variety on Sirius XM. This is not a plug for Sirius XM by any way, except that the one plug is that they are running the Big Red show on Sirius XM now. Shameless plug for my boy Big Red. Congratulations. But normally I'm listening to Sirius XM, but this particular day I was not. I was actually listening to a local radio station here that I used to be on called the Big DM. Love the Big DM. Love the music, right? So I was listening to it, and as I was rolling along, I was checking some other stations as well, some other R&B stations, and one particular station that I went across to, what was starkly different and telling was the vast difference in the music lineup of the R&B station and another station that I went to check out. The country station. I like country music from time to time. I don't listen to it all the time, but I do like country music. I enjoy a good country song. Country songs to me are very well written. They're always timely or topical. They're about something specific that to me is more relatable, ironically, to my life than what's going on a lot of times in other R&B music. And so I was listening to the country song, and then as I'm listening to the country, the list of songs or the playlist of songs that were on for the 15 minutes that I was listening to that station, what shocked me was the way the country music was encouraging, uplifting. Yeah, they had some sexual stuff in there. There's a little bit of sex in there. They talked about drinking some alcohol, some beer, and what have you. So I'm able to write that off and remove that from my mind mentally when I'm listening to something if I want to. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. But in this particular case, I was able to. And it was talking about stuff like, hey, I'm looking forward to having children and sending my kids off to college and my son going to the first grade and me and my girlfriend getting married and we buying our first house and we're 25 years old, married and sitting at home drinking wine. And I was like, oh, what a uplifting tune. Man, the young fella talking about looking forward to getting married to his high school girlfriend. Another song was talking about the fact that had some tough times, some rough times, but last year they repoed my truck. This year I made a couple of $1 million. And was talking about we all fighting through, we all making this, and we all doing this, and we all pushing through. And I was like, that's encouraging. Man, what a uplifting song. Right? Another song was just talking about simple life. So again, talking about raising kids, looking at my wife and my son, taking my son to school and picking him up. I'm like, man, this is very encouraging. This is the list of songs that I was listening to yesterday. I'm like, man, contrastly, over on the R&B station, it's bumping and grinding. Multiple partners. The station I was listening to didn't have any violence per se, but there's a lot of sex, a lot of multiple sex partners, and a lot of non-traditional sex. I'll just leave it at that. A lot of promoting sexual activity. I'm not saying that country music or pop music doesn't. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying the level. The level and the weight of gratuitous sexual content and lyrics that's promoted on black radio is stunning. Usher got a song. When I first heard it, I didn't know it was Usher. Its song has a real heavy Prince feel to it. He clearly was tapping into his inner Prince, or trying to shout out Prince or honor Prince in this particular song. So the song's coming on. I'm like, man, that sounds familiar. And I'm listening to the lyrics, and I'm like, at first I'm like, okay, this sounds like a nice little R&B love song. Oh no. I'm talking about that song is pure, gratuitous, rated R, or X-rated sex, depending on how you look at it. And I'm listening to this, and I'm like, man, y'all playing this on the radio in the middle of the day. This daytime. This ain't nighttime. This ain't a quiet storm. This is the middle of the afternoon. This is what we're playing. The question becomes is that does the music we listen to say more about us, or does it say more about the larger powers that be who funneled this music to us? Is it because that we're playing it all the time? We're listening to it and consuming it clearly in big numbers, because radio stations wouldn't be on the air unless advertisers were spending advertising dollars, and advertisers wouldn't be spending advertising dollars if they weren't eyeballs and ears paying attention to this particular media. So clearly there's an audience for it. But the question becomes is why do we consume so much gratuitous content? Why is there's so much sexual content in music? But here's a bigger question. Do we realize or even take note or thought about how much gratuitous sexual music and lyrics that we listen to? Do we even take stock of it? Are we so consumed with it that we don't even notice it anymore? Is it totally lost on us and missed that what we're listening to has such a high level of gratuitous sexual content? What's the number one song for right now, Tristan? What's that song you said? All Mine. All Mine is the number one song according to Tristan, apparently on Billboard. I played that song, even played the video. I'm like, wow. But again, the question, so here's the question. Here's the question for us. Here's the question for the Ox Show family. Whether you're on Clubhouse, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, do you really know the content of the music, the lyrical content of the music that you listen to? Do you listen to that type of music at all? And if you do, are you really aware of what you're listening to? And does it bother you? Do you have a problem with it at all? Do you even notice it? And then a larger question of it is, do you allow your family, your children to consume that type of content? Now, we've had a level of this conversation before on this show, but here's one thing that we haven't done in a while. We're going to talk about some lyrics today. I'm going to play you some lyrics that maybe you should know about, maybe you should be aware of. It's a little song called Pound Town. Pound Town. Dr. Bobby Jones, I was teasing Dr. Jones about that a couple of weeks ago in Vegas for the Stellar Awards. And I was teasing him about the fact that the young lady came down the aisle and twerked in front of him. I teased him a little bit off stage, and I was cracking about it on stage. The fact that he was in a safe space now here at the Stellar Awards versus the BET Awards, where the twerk was right in Dr. Jones' face. I'm like, y'all twerking right in front of Dr. Bobby Jones' face. Good Lord. Where's the honor and decency? That's Dr. Bobby Jones. But my point is saying, I'm laughing about it, but it's not funny. My point is saying it's like the content of that song is not just so sexual, it's so dark. When you consider the soul ties that's attached to that song, when you consider the repercussions of that type of behavior, when you consider the amount of rape that's going on today of young black women, when you consider the amount of sex trafficking that's going on today of young black women, when you consider the STD rates, 2 billboards in Columbia that bring me pause is the one that says chlamydia is back with a vengeance. Chlamydia is the new COVID-19. Chlamydia, it ain't killing folks, so I should maybe call it that's a bit of an overstatement. But chlamydia is on fire. Chlamydia is changing the game. When I say on fire, no pun intended, but y'all know what I mean. My point is saying this, y'all, is do we realize? Do we even care? Are we aware? Yeah. Let's get into it. Let's have this conversation today, y'all. Let's see who's in the room. As y'all can see, I'm a little bit passionate about this. Yeah. I'm going to dig in these lyrics in just a little bit. All right, y'all. Let's see who's in the house. Good morning. Good morning, Rashandra. What's up, family? What's up, sis? How you doing? Damon Cherry just got married. I was married now. Devon is married, y'all. Congratulations, my brother. Congratulations. Sister Rose. Good morning, sis. Sheila. What's up, Sheila? How you doing? Good morning to you. Leon, the official Akintunde show security guard. What's up, Leon? How you doing, sir? Good to see you in the house. Christina. What's going on, Christina? Ibrahim. How you doing, sir? Good to see you in the house, sir. Carol. What's up, Carol? How you doing, sis? Always good to see Carol in the house. Donna J is in the building, y'all. Donna's still out sick, y'all. She's still out sick. She's still in the house.
30 hertz straight up.
Tori Free, good morning. How you doing, sis? Definitely want to hear what Tori Free got to say. Stephanie, what's up, Stephanie? How you doing? What's going on, ma'am? Paul is in the house, aka No Face, because he doesn't have his picture on his profile, although he was just on the show a couple of weeks ago. Mother Karen Earls, how you doing, ma'am? What's going on, ma'am? Thank you for the update on Jason, too. Thank you so much. I'll tell you something a little bit later on. I got to clear if I can talk about it first. Sheila, good morning, Sheila. How you doing, sis? Jamal Bates, Pastor Jamal Bates, host of the Jamal Bates radio show in the morning, in the afternoons. Gospel syndicated radio show. Ashley Bailey, Canada's finest, is in the building. Definitely want to hear what Ashley got to say about some of these latest songs. Want to see what y'all think. Country versus R&B. Gerald, what's up, Gerald? How you doing, sir? Good to see you in the house, sir. Dodie, did I say that right? Dodie or Dottie? I think that's Dodie. Dodie, what's up, sir? Tiffany, good morning, Tiffany. How you doing, sis? Shaquilla, boy, what's up, sis? Good morning. Good to have you in the house. Melvin, what's up, Melvin? Love the beer game, Melvin. I see you, sir. That's how you do it. Darlene, what's up, Darlene? How you doing, ma'am? Kimberly Morgan is in the building. What's up, sis? There it is. Orangeburg. SC in the house, family.
30 hertz straight up.
Let's get this show started, family. Here's the question for you. Do you listen to it? Do you play it? Do you have a problem with it? Are you aware of it? And listen, are you comparing and thinking about considering what these two different musical genres, the different types of music that's played for different people, what that mean, why they play it? And I'm going to play a video of a pastor. I've actually been to the church, Pastor Michael Smith out of Jacksonville, Florida. He put out a video that's maybe a couple years old now, but it's saying a whole lot. Listen, family, let's get into it. Let's have this conversation. Call your mama, call your daddy, call your auntie, call your uncle, call your cousin, call a neighbor, call your coworker, call the postman, the UPS man, the truck driver. Let them all know that the Akintunde show is about to start. Let's go.
Another track layer production, but no joke entertainment. Let's go.
Akintunde is gonna make you laugh real loud. So come on, scream it out. Akintunde is gonna make it laugh real loud now. Akintunde.
Daily I shall.
It's the Akintunde show.
Say what?
Say what?
You heard what I said.
That's right, y'all.
The Akintunde show.
Spell it.
A-K-I-N Tunde.
Looking for promotional products and apparel? Look no further than P&B Promotionals. Place your brand and logo on just about anything with P&B Promotionals. Over 800,000 products, caps, travel mugs, drawstring bags, water bottles, stadium cups, umbrellas, tote bags, and t-shirts. P&B Promotionals is a nationally certified advertising company. Log on to pbpromotionals.com and start your order now. pbpromotionals.com.
Imprinting the best for less.
Greetings. I am Darrell Presley, owner and operator of Presley Cares Mortuary Services of West Columbia, South Carolina. Our mission here at Presley's is to provide excellent, quality, superior funeral service to all, regardless of economic status, religion, or race, with our society being embedded with a diverse class of people. Our staff here at Presley's pledges to offer only one class of service, and that is superior. So rendering professional services to the families that call upon us is not an option, it's mandatory. Presley Cares Mortuary Services, where we are caring for you and your loved one.
At my church, we help people get better by teaching them how the word works, and we want to make sure there is no excuse not to get the word. It's our goal to make all of our ministries accessible on every smartphone, tablet, PC, and television connected to the internet. So whether you're a man who needs some wisdom, a woman who needs some encouragement, or a couple who needs guidance, the My Church channel has just what you need. Simply search for the My Church channel on Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV, or visit mychurchchannel.org. You can also download the My Church on the Go app from Apple or Google Play App Store. Constantly on the move? Check out the Word at My Church podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Or simply download the Word at My Church skill on your Alexa-enabled device. But whatever you do, make sure to stay connected. See you soon.
Stop walking in front of the prophet.
Oh, yeah.
This is Pelham Myers Jr. of P&B Promotionals, and you're inside the Akintunde Show.
What's up, family? Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy Tuesday to everybody out there. Gotta get my ears straight. Gotta be careful with these earplugs. They give you elf ears. No offense to anybody who has elf ears. If you're offended by my mentioning of elf ears, send your emails to Pastor Lewis Tucker at my church, lovemychurch.org. What's up, fam? I mentioned him. I'm already messing with him. Don is out, y'all. Don is still out recovering from COVID-19. She needs another week, even though she don't think so. She needs another week, and we encouraging her to take that and just relax and get restored. But I'm already messing with him. Let me get my friend up on the screen. He hails from Lynchburg, Virginia. He is the pastor and the co-founder of the My Church channel and the My Church Church. Y'all, welcome to the show as always. My co-host, Pastor Lewis Tucker. What's up, good sir? How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
How you doing, my brother?
First of all, I ain't gonna start with you today.
What I do? What did I do?
Talking trash already.
About what? What I say?
Coming at me talking the elf ears.
No. I say if anybody have a problem with me mentioning elf ears, to send their
I don't know why they got no problem. If you got elf ears, you got elf ears.
But you know,
better talk to the good Lord about it.
Everybody's so sensitive today. You can't mention. I felt offended when you said I had elf ears, or you mentioned elf ears because I suffer from elf ears. I'm like,
look,
sir.
Elves are not a protected class. Elves are not a protected class. They are not a protected class.
Are not a protected class. That's hilarious.
Unless you live at the South Pole, the elves are not a protected class.
Oh my God, Pastor Tucker, boy. Only Pastor Tucker.
Donna need to stop being hard headed. I told her already she needed another week home, so she keep playing if she want a hard head, make a soft behind every time.
When I talked to her via text, I haven't called her again because when I called her the last time, she sounded pretty strained. So we just talked, via text. But yeah, she definitely needs another week, based on what she was saying.
I told her that from the first day off.
Well, she said in her defense, she wasn't trying to come in like today. The question was, did she think she'd be able to get back in this week? And I said, Donna, I can tell you right now, with the symptoms you describing and how and the way it hit, and this is her, I think she said second or third time having it. So
second, I believe.
Yeah, so you need a COVID or the flu. Anybody, you need a good week or so. Or two sometimes to fully recover. And if you can take that time off, if you have that ability, whether you have time saved up, whether you have a job or you have a business, I would say take it off.
First of all, I think we got to get to the place where we stop submitting ourselves to money. The world has made this thing such a thing for us
Yeah.
And if you're in a position where you have to answer to money, then you're in a bad position and you need to do something about that immediately. And I know that may sound crazy to some people, but trust me, a lot of us may have been born in positions like that.
Yeah.
But we learned habits because we grew up in positions like that that have kept us in that position.
Yeah.
And you got to learn to make some different choices to get you out of those positions, because we were never meant to be a slave to money. Money was supposed to be a slave to us. We were never supposed to be a slave to money.
Right.
And I don't even know why we starting like this morning, but somebody must need to hear this. But when the Bible talks about no one can serve two masters.
Yeah.
You cannot serve God and mammon.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that, because if you're in a position where you cannot, if God told you to do something different if God says something to you and the first thing you got to do is check your bank account, then God is not really your God.
Yeah. He's not your provider.
You have to recognize at that point, money has superseded God in certain areas of your life.
Right.
And you need to at that point start figuring out, and I don't mean figuring out mentally, you need to start seeking God about what areas, what changes you need to make in your life so that he can now regain his position of lordship in your life. And that may be a challenging journey for you faith-wise.
Yeah.
But you need to be in that position, because once again, I think that's the problem we have in the world right now. Because once again, if you get sick for something like COVID, your body, even though your body recovers, you're still in a weakened immune state.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You
go back out here, and all of the germs and everything else in the world, people are nasty.
Oh
period.
yeah. Oh yeah. They get you right back sick again.
Yeah. You'll be sick again, and you'll be that much worse because you're in a weakened immune state.
Right.
And so if you can't even obey God, God said, stay home, rest, get yourself together, spend some time in the Word, build yourself up in the faith to believe for protection. I mean, you can't even get to that place, and you're like, well, I got to get back to work. And next thing you know, you back down and even worse.
And to be clear, Donna didn't say.
No, I know. I know. Donna. Me and Donna been having these conversations.
She was trying to, come back because of that.
No, I know. I'm saying this for somebody else. This ain't for Donna. Me and Donna already had these conversations. Donna already know.
Yeah, I think. I think that time she needs to heal, and that's for anybody. If you need time to heal, take that time to heal. Because here's the deal: I've said this about several things, whether that is finances or husband duties or parental duties. I've learned that if you allow yourself to be ran ragged, people will lower you in the ground and go on with life. And whatever that thing was that you were stressing about them being able to do, they will figure out how to do it if you leave here. So you need to do what you need to do to take care of yourself and make sure that you don't overextend yourself unnecessarily. Sometimes you need to push through. Sometimes you need to chill out and just relax and get restored and come back better. And half the time, how many times y'all done this? I know I've done this several times with the flu. You come back, you feel like you're better, and then you got a good burst of energy, and then by halfway through the day, you like, bruh, I told you needed another day.
Yep.
You really needed two, but you had to push it. Now look at you now. Now you're back.
Now you're down two more.
2 more days, 3 more days, because you didn't listen. Yeah.
Setback. And it's so funny. I used to tell my wife this all the time. I said, you better recognize this about this job. They'll write your job description before they do your obituary.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's sad, but that's the way to work. But in actual, on some level, it's process. People are people. When you're a part of a larger system, folks will keep moving and not worry about you. So I tell folks,
I ain't mad with them. I'm mad with you at this point that you don't realize your value.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
That you thought you were that valuable to them that you put yourself in the second position to support somebody else's system that does not reciprocate your value. When your value was at home to your family.
Come on. There it is. Y'all listen, let me see who in the building. Let's see who's already in the room. Pastor Robert Earls, Say Lewis Tucker, the ultimate noob. He is the complete husband, father, friend, and son. He counsels, he walks, he talks, he teaches, he preaches. He even crawls on his belly like a reptile. Pop Earls, it's hilarious. He gave you a lot of praise, a lot of accolades, and at the end of it,
if I'm crawling on my belly, you better watch out because my hands ain't empty. You better know what he's talking about.
Oh my God! Let's see. Kimberly Morgan said, "Good morning, all. I have a client, so I'll be in and out." All right, Kimberly, I see you. Handle your client business, but we're glad that anytime we get what you sis. Leon Campbell said, "I got into today's country and not older country songs, as I didn't have a radio station in New York playing it back in the day. They mainly have a story to tell, which you could visualize like a movie." Yeah, and I appreciate that about country. I really wish we had more of that on hip hop and R&B as opposed to just the same narrative. Again, y'all, it's wild. The some of the billboards that are around Columbia, one that says this is telling y'all. It says 50% of all current HIV/AIDS cases are people under 30. 50% of all HIV/AIDS cases are people under 30. So that should tell us something about our culture. That should tell us about something about our decisions, and that should hopefully draw a connect. If you look at the casualness about sex today, the passiveness about sex today, the total breakdown in some of the traditional values that we once subscribed to, even as a community, even if you sinned and fell short, you still knew that it was wrong. Well, some of those things are now being moved to the side, placed on the back burner, and we got to consider the repercussions, the long-term repercussions and ramifications of our families in the long run. Let me see who else we got here commenting in the room. Carol Chisholm said, "I love country music. Most have encouraging stories behind the music." Yep, very much true. Jarrell Brown said, "Good morning, sir." Robert Popero said, "Good morning, Hollywood." Popero's on fire. Tori Free said, "Good morning, brother Akintunde and Pastor Sir." Good morning, Tori Free. How you doing?
Good morning.
Paul is laughing with us. What's up, sir? Paul Briggs said, "Giving Shirley Caesar a lap dance is the only thing worse than Dr. Jones." Yeah. Again, if you just tune in, you saying why would Paul mention Shirley Caesar and lap dance? Because we're talking about a few weeks ago now, Dr. Jones attended the BET Awards, and the little girl from Pound Town came down. It's her and another girl. They came down and torqued in front of Dr. Jones live on TV. You should have heard. Y'all should have saw. So we talk about the lyrics and talk about what we're going to talk about today in our production meeting. And so I was talking about the music. And I mentioned Pound Town. Y'all should have saw both Tristan and Eric came like they were like no. They came to the door like no. Don't. They were like they didn't want me to listen to it or look at the lyrics. Like don't play that, don't touch that. I already heard it. I already seen the video. It's horrible. It is utterly horrible. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Ashley Bailey said the song is dark because her booty. Ashley, I can't even finish what you just said. Ashley, go stand in the corner. Ashley Bailey, go stand in the corner, young lady. It's right what she said though. Ashley also said, as lyrics as y'all ain't playing Shirley Caesar for bedroom activities. We're not. I've been saying for years. We need some of the gospel or some of the more clean middle of the road artists to put out more music for married folks. I would love for some folks to celebrate marriage on the album. I think Bishop Jakes put out a marriage CD back in the day, and Dr. Dollar as well put out a marriage CD, but we haven't had anything since. So and I was talking about this. I actually mentioned this Pastor Tuck yesterday. I told you Nissa. I said our hip hop and R&B is singing low. Gospel is singing all vertical. Country is singing life. It's singing about what's going on today, and I have a problem with that. I really have a problem. You don't have enough music where I think even gospel should have more music that's life music that has a life application to it.
But see, you left out a very critical genre, and that's Christian hip hop.
Yeah,
Christian hip hop is a whole different genre
than all of those. And Christian hip hop is very vertical, horizontal.
Yeah. It's just the problem is it's not enough. We don't, as a race of people, we don't support it the way we should.
But
the black church doesn't support it.
It's a whole lot of it out there. The problem is society, media, even the church has not pushed it to its rightful place. I've said a long time. We need to do a Christian version of 8 Mile.
Yeah. Don't say that on the animal, Pastor. You can't say that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got. You dropping these gems out here.
I'm just saying, man. We need to do something. We need to do something.
We do.
We need to do something to bring it to the forefront because there's so many people. I've seen it 100 times. I can pull up right now with my truck going, and young folks will stop and wonder what I'm listening to.
Yeah.
Because they'll be like, "What are you listening to?"
Oh yeah.
Because it sounds so similar to what they listening to till they hear the words of it.
Right. Oh yeah, we played it before in our mentoring program. I put on some Christian hip hop, and the kids started. They're like, "What's that?" And then they'd be listening to it. They're like, "Hold on, is he talking about Jesus?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh," I'm like, "No. For the whole past minute and a half, you've been rolling until you heard him mention God. Now you got a problem with it." That's the conditioning of culture. That's the conditioning of media, arts, and entertainment that has made some folks, and particularly our younger people, to have a disdain for anything that mentions Christ or references anything spiritual.
And there's some cats out there like Seven and Bizzle. I mean, that's out there from the streets.
Yeah,
there's got an edge to them that you can get some hardcore cats to listen to.
Yeah,
because they got credentials. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These ex gangbangers that's talking about the Lord.
Yeah, keep it real. Yeah, and real about their whole life experience. But in a little bit we're gonna play some lyrics. I'm gonna play this clip from Pastor Michael T. Smith out of Jacksonville, Florida. That I think is telling. I mean, I haven't heard anyone outside of Craig. What's his name? Craig Davis or Nelson? I forgot his name, but he's my only problem with this particular pastor is he preaches against hip hop and holy hip hop. So that's my only issue with him. He has a whole ministry that literally he preaches against holy hip hop, and I'm like, I think one of the biggest mistakes of the body of Christ is that there was a window of time a few years ago where we did not celebrate properly, adequately Christian gospel rap, holy hip hop. We didn't say, hey, let's welcome these brothers in. Let's support these brothers. Let's give our children some counter programming. Let's give them something else to listen to. Because right now, a lot of y'all parents, Pastor Tuck, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of y'all parents today, you think you having a parental issue. You think you have an educational issue. You think you have a behavioral issue. You think you have a mental issue. No, you fighting a culture battle. You fighting the battle that you fighting is against culture. The battle that you fight is not even inside your walls of your house. The true issues and problems that you are dealing with in many cases, particularly to those parents who really try to build a kingdom home, a Christian home, those are influences coming outside of your house through friends, through the music and entertainment that's listened to that you don't know anything about, that your daughter or son is being exposed to in droves that you are clueless about. That's the issue. That's the battle you fight. So you think it ain't a behavior issue. It's like, check what they listening to. That's a big part of it. You got to check what they are listening to. Let's see who else is in the room. Kashana's in the room checking in. Dr. Stubbs is in the house. Welcome. Good morning.
Earl Rillington.
Yes,
on,
that's
Facebook.
That's my boy. That's one of my best friends.
He said yes. Depressing the black artists the music black artists put out, and they know better. They won't say anything anti-Semitic, but all types of N's and B's. But it's been that way for the last 30 years.
Yeah. Okay. Great point to play this video clip. Earl, what's up, Earl? Me and Earl used to hang out. We were friends in high school until Earl went off in the military. Then went to college. Went to college and then the military. And but man, me and Earl used to work the Steak and Ale restaurant together. Steak and Ale. We were both dishwashers. And And then
I
we
got fired for drinking all the ale.
did not get fired for drinking. I should have got fired. All the brownies I stole out of there. I used to go in the walk-in freezer and just eat brownies all day. Just eat brownies. Just in the freezer. I would go in there and get one and eat it in the freezer, or I would go in there and put one in my pocket and go to the front bathroom and eat a brownie in the bathroom. Shameful guy. Just terrible. Shame. I'll tell you about that story another day. I robbed.
Come on down to the altar.
I already asked for forgiveness for it. It's so bad. I think I told you all the story of how I broke into the Pac-Man machine. I know I told you about that, Pastor. I told you about that? I didn't tell you about that? Oh, no. Yeah. Me? What? Who did I break it? Me and somebody. Who was that? Me and one of my coworkers.
You and Donna and y'all life of crime.
I'm
on the show with a bunch of criminals.
Sir, I know you ain't talking.
I'm on the show with a bunch of criminals.
I know you ain't talking. The man who was about to graduate from college and at the same time was on trial, had a case pending. The grace of God got him out of prison.
Hey, I ain't never done no time. You been in jail.
I got arrested. I ain't never did no time. I got arrested. I got out.
Hey, what with the grace of God, you had to dress out.
I was that close. I was right there. Like, man, hey man, she don't bail you out in a minute. I got to dress you out. You got to dress out. But no, we broke into the Pac-Man machine. We broke into the Pac-Man machine one morning because they would have us in there prepping and cleaning up. I promise you, I'm gonna get back to the topic. And so we stole about $150 or $60 in quarters, and we split that money. About $75, $80 in quarters. Boy, we was loaded down going to the mall.
I'm like, how do you walk out with $80 quarters? I'm like, Negro, your pants ripped. How do you walk out with $180 worth of quarters?
We had a plan. We had a bag. We put it in our bag. Walked out with all the quarters, and then went to the mall. And then forget, I brought a bottle of Obsession cologne with them quarters. I bought a $37 bottle of cologne.
Folks sitting there looking at you in the mall. You put some quarters on the counter. They sitting there looking at you like,
oh yeah. This was the days before. This is the days before those machines when you go in there to dump it in and they give you the cash.
Exactly.
No. Hey, you go in there and I was like $1, $2. Dude look at me like, really? Yeah, $37 worth of quarters. So I brought that cologne. The very next week, y'all. The very next week, I get paid. I feel like I'm ahead now. I'm up now because I had my little heist last week, my little Pac-Man heist. So I got some extra money from that. I go to the mall and this dude runs up to me. He said, "Hey man," he said, "Hey bro, do me a favor." He said, "Look man, I got to go in this mall." He said, "Can you help me out? Could you hold my money for me?" I was like, "Huh?" He said, "Could you hold my money for me?" I was like, "Yeah, I guess." I'm 15 years old. I said, "Yeah, I guess." He said, "Okay." He said, "Just put it with your money." He said, "Just put it with your money. Put your money with my money." He said, "That way, you won't lose it." I'm like, "Okay." So he was like, "Where's your money?" I said, "I gave him my money," and he put his money inside of my money. And then he was like, "All right, man." He said, "Bro, I'll be back." He said, "I'm gonna go in here." He said, "Meet me out here in like 30 minutes." I was like, "Okay." I said, "That's odd. Why would he want me to hold his money?" Man, I got inside that mall and I was about to buy something. And then I realized all that like $15. I don't know how that dude did that. That dude, with some trickery, he did some little bait and switch thing and flipped my money and gave me a bunch of phony bills or light bills or small bills. I got to that count, I had like $15. Man, I ran back outside looking for that dude. I was looking all over for that dude. And I was like, I'm looking, and then it was like the devil pulled a Nelson on me because he reminded me of that Pac-Man machine. Like, you stole them, you robbed the Pac-Man machine. I think that's what that and one other thing what broke me out of any type of crime, any type of stealing. I was like, yeah. I said that was quick. A week later, I stole $150. I pocketed 75 of that. And a week later, I lost my whole paycheck, less $15. Yeah. Crime unpaid. That's not the topic, but listen, y'all. When we come back, I'm gonna play this video clip. I was about to play. Let me go to break. Let me play this video clip. When we come back, we play this clip from Pastor Michael T. Smith. His comments about black music. and violence and racism. I thought it was pretty telling. Family, stay right there, y'all. This is the Akintunde Show. Don't y'all move. Looking for promotional products and apparel? Look no further than P&B Promotionals. Place your brand and logo on just about anything with P&B Promotionals. Over 800,000 products, caps, travel mugs, drawstring bags, water bottles, stadium cups, umbrellas, tote bags, and t-shirts. P&B Promotionals is a nationally certified advertising company. Log on to pbpromotionals.com and start your order now. pbpromotionals.com.
Imprinting the best for less.
At my church, we help people get better by teaching them how the word works. And we want to make sure there is no excuse not to get the word. It's our goal to make all of our ministries accessible on every smartphone, tablet, PC, and television connected to the internet. So whether you're a man who needs some wisdom, a woman who needs some encouragement, or a couple who needs guidance, the My Church channel has just what you need. Simply search for the My Church channel on Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV, or visit mychurchchannel.org. You can also download the My Church on the Go app from Apple or Google Play App Store. Constantly on the move? Check out the Word at My Church podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Or simply download the Word at My Church skill on your Alexa-enabled device. But whatever you do, make sure to stay connected. See you soon.
It's the Akintunde Show.
Say what? Say what?
You heard what I said.
That's right, y'all.
The Akintunde Show.
Spell it.
Akintunde.
Of P&B Promotionals, and you're inside the Akintunde Show.
All right, y'all. What it do, family? Happy Tuesday to everybody out there enjoying the show. Do me a favor. Share this in the room, on Clubhouse. Share this with some other folks. Welcome somebody in to have this conversation. Share this on Facebook. Share it on YouTube. Let everybody know. If you're watching this on replay, please like, tag, share, and comment, and share it with everyone as well. Again, today we're talking about country versus R&B, what we listening to, and the broader question is why do we listen to the music that we listen to? I want to play a clip from Pastor Michael T. Smith, where he talks about systematic racism, and this can be deemed as a dangerous comment, as a Caucasian Southern pastor. Go ahead, Julio, play that clip.
Have a lot of power. White Mike has a question today, and that's this. How come when you turn on the radio in Jacksonville or New Orleans or Chicago or Little Rock, the only people on the radio that talk about how great it is to kill each other are black? How come that exists? 15 stations on a dial, go up, go down. The only people on the radio bragging about getting automatic weapons, gunning each other down, are black. This right here is a song. My pastoral vocabulary won't let me read the title, but I will read this. Catch a young black male not paying attention at the red light with your AK-47. Let me see you shoot it. You're a killer, you're a killer, you're a killer. You're a killer, black male. Let me see you prove it. Why does this exist? I'll take it even further because a lot of time racism exists in what we don't know and what we don't see. Where are the white killers on the radio? Where are the white AK-47 shooters? Where are the white drug dealers? Where are the white people on the radio that brag about what it's like to murder witnesses before trial? The truth is they don't exist. And the question is why? Why don't they exist? Do white people not kill people? Do white people not use AK-47s to shoot each other? I mean, we know, do white people not do drugs? Do they not deal drugs? Of course they do. But why is it that it doesn't make it to our mainstream radio? Why is it that we don't hear it hundreds of times a day in hundreds of cities across the nation, thousands of plays that say the idea that a black guy would kill another black guy is something to be celebrated, something to be romanticized? And why is it that white people don't do it? And maybe it's because there's no white audience for it. Or maybe it's because it's not really marketable. Maybe because can't get sponsors. I don't know why it is. Or maybe it's because it's just not the white man's role. Or maybe when white people get up and talk about being drug dealers and AK-47 killers, maybe it's even sicker than that. Maybe when white people do it, they're accused of acting black. The truth is, in America, black murder is normal. Black murder is normal. The idea that a black man or a black woman would be involved in a homicide, either as a perpetrator or a victim, is so common, so broadly accepted that it basically goes unnoticed. The truth of the matter is, black families...
Yeah. Pastor Michael T. Smith, Jacksonville, Florida. He asks a bold question, and I think it's a cultural indictment. It's a business indictment. I mean, you have to watch find the full clip. It's a TED Talk, and he's asking the question, and of course we couldn't play it all. But what he really asserts is why does the music industry, the music business, the broader radio companies, the large radio conglomerates, why do they build a playlist for black people to consume and market that to black people to consume that's filled with such violence? And he didn't mention it, but I'm adding the sexual gratuity to the sexual content to it. Why is that promoted and trafficked to us in such droves? Now, again, you got to take responsibility. A big part of it is because we consume it. We consume it. We eat it. We regurgitate it. That becomes a part of our culture. But again, I mentioned this topic comes from the vast, stark difference with the country radio playlist and the R&B and hip hop and R&B radio playlist that I listened to or was listening to in the car yesterday riding with Unissa. Pastor Tuck, go ahead, jump in your thoughts, sir. I can't hear you, Pastor Tuck.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're asking the same question he asked. Why?
Well, I'm asking what your thoughts are just on the topic, and then even that video, what he was saying.
I mean, the question he asked why is real simple. I mean, because this was strategic. This is on purpose. This isn't by accident. You know, you and I both know, based on the podcast that was it Busy Bone did a few years back, that there was an actual summit done in the music industry back in the early 80s.
Yeah.
That they actually made a deal with the privatized prisons.
Yeah.
With the record industry, the music industry, that they were going to champion any music in the African American community that promoted criminalizing behavior in order to incite criminal behavior in our community.
Yeah.
In order to increase the number of activities that were arrestable.
Yeah.
They made deals with the police departments to up the laws, like stop and frisk and basically profiling and all of those kinds of things to increase the arrest records. They made the crack laws versus the cocaine laws to be able to have reasons to put people in, and they made deals with the states to come in and take over and privatize those prisons, and they made promises to keep 90% occupancy in jail. So the whole industry then made a conscious choice to say, we're gonna squash all of this conscious rap, like, you know, De La Soul and all of those guys, and you know, those guys that are putting out positivity.
Right.
Well, we ain't signing nobody like that. We only signing people who going to be pushing violence, hypersexuality, anything that's going to be counterproductive to this community, because it's going to basically allow us to enslave a people.
Yeah.
And that's basically an agenda that people have not paid much attention to over the years. And it goes back to a theory, a book I read in college, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, called the theory of racism and color confrontation. And people think that racism is about skin color and all that. It's about fear.
Yeah.
Because you can take a box of crayons and you take a white crayon and take a yellow crayon and, you know, keep going in darker hues, mixing it with that white crayon. The easiest way to erase that white crayon is the black crayon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the black crayon poses the greatest threat to the white crayon.
Right.
And so the only way on this planet to create a white person is two white people. But if you take a white person and a Chinese person, you got a colored person.
Yeah.
You take a white person and a Mexican person, you got a colored person.
Yeah.
You take a white person and a person from India, you got a colored person.
Yeah.
No matter what you mix with them, they come out colored. And so at some point, the people who are purely white in this world fear their genetic annihilation. So there has been this thing of, and who poses the greatest threat are blacks. And so they have made this theory of racism to try to always villainize and make black people feared, make them seem like animals and creatures and all of these things, so that they will fear us, so that we can become villains, so that to try to preserve their race. Because if this, everybody getting along, everybody kumbaya, this mixing of the races, the white race will cease to exist on the planet.
Yeah.
And so that's really what this whole theory of racism is built on at its core all over the earth. And this thing has been perpetuated all these kinds of ways. And so now when you take this agenda of let's criminalize these people, slavery's been outlawed, but if we do this privatized prison and we incite this behavior and we got these laws in place and then we got this thing in place, so now we got cheap labor all over. This is a business.
Well,
and so if you pushing this stuff at me and I'm eating it, I just fall for it.
You're making the same decision. You know, I often remind people, I particularly love to remind young black men of this, that slavery was outlawed in 1865. Okay, outlaw. But the only way that slavery is still legal is in the prison system.
Is in the prison system.
That is the only way. That it's literally written in the law, within the amendment. It's literally written in there that slavery is legal, except in the case that you are in prison. So what that means is when you are a part of the prison system, you can be made to work. You can be made to do a task for free or for very little money, like $1.20 per hour. And then that labor,
they get paid less than that.
And then that labor is then turned around and sold for $6, $10, $15, $20 an hour, of which you make none of. But because you are a part of the prison system, you have no say so. And you have to do what you are told unless there are repercussions for you. That's slavery. That is essentially slavery, the system of slavery that is just a legal form and quite frankly, a less brutal form. Because the previous form, like I told someone one day, I said, listen, you got to think about what that meant for a business owner. As an entrepreneur myself, think about what it means if somebody had to do what you told them to do for as many hours a day as you wanted to, bar none. They have to do exactly what you tell them to do, and you have to pay them absolutely nothing. That's the system that this country was largely built on. That's the financial system. That's the benefits, the structure, the foundation in many ways of this country. And not in many ways, the core foundation of this country is which people still benefit from, is slavery. Now here's the thing with us now, though, y'all. That slavery has been abolished for about 139 years, I think. Check my math on that. Might be off a year or two on that, somewhere around that time. Mm-hmm. So that means it is our responsibility now to take responsibility for our own selves, our own actions, our own families, and to restore some things. And we have to be wise and look at, why are you feeding? Why are you presenting? Why are you pumping this type of content? Y'all know we talk about this consistently a lot, but I think we're not aware of it. Like, for example, I'll give you a passive point. And I was talking about this with somebody I know personally. I won't call their name right now, but I was talking with somebody about the fact that there's a show called Love and Marriage, Birmingham, or I forgot. It's a show about a bunch of couples in Alabama, and these are real people, but it's clearly not reality because it's a reality show. But the actual couples have been having some serious marriage problems, right? And I'm saying, what good is it for any single woman, or even worse, a married woman, to be watching this nonsense? There's a systematic reason why this is pumped into our communities. There's a reason why this is constantly presented to our mothers and daughters, to our sisters. There's a reason, because it's designed to weaken marriages. It's designed for women to believe that all men are somehow sexually unfaithful. No man can be consistently trusted. No man can be trusted. They all do it. This is what they do. It is what it is. You got to think about, okay, if you recognize that there's an agenda behind that, you have to ask yourself why there's this agenda. And you can't just say the devil is busy or it's the enemy, which it is. But there's a larger construct as well. Either way, I say don't let anybody take a fool or make a fool out of you and take what's rightfully yours. So I think we're at an inflection point, I believe, in culture and society, where it's time to take stock and responsibility for us. Cigarettes are dangerous. Cigarettes will kill you, but you don't have to smoke.
Nope.
You don't have to smoke. It's well established what cigarettes would do. And quite frankly, sometimes I see people suing cigarette companies. I'm like, man, for what? Yeah, you know, anybody who smokes cigarettes today, you know what you're doing, ma'am or sir. It's horrible, yes, but you know what you're doing, and it's the same thing with us.
But you know,
do we know?
And the thing is about this music we're talking about. It's the same concept as a food desert. You wonder why people are consuming unhealthy processed foods, because that's what they sell in their neighborhood. That's what they have access to. You wonder why people are listening to this trash music, because that's what comes on their radio station. That's what's pumped into that's what their artists are putting out. That's what's available to them, because they have created a music desert. That's what they have created. Jesus. Because they removed, once again, when they strategically did this, they removed all of the trap, like you said, the Jungle Brothers, like you said, all
the positive,
of the
conscious
all of the X-Clan, all of the Arrested Development. They removed all of those guys from the picture, and replaced them with all of this stuff. So that now, you used to could go to the local market and get fresh produce and everything else, but they're like, no, we're not doing that.
Let's go back to that point.
And in all actuality, you can't tell me that processed food is cheaper than food you just pull out the ground.
Heaven no.
But there's an agenda in it.
But going back to that whole food desert analogy, which I think is an amazing parallel to draw there. Because when you think about the concept of a food desert, anybody who doesn't know, I will explain it for anybody who doesn't know. I'm sure most of us know, but let's explain it. A food desert is a restaurant. I mean, is a neighborhood or area of usually by an area that's populated by poor Americans, not just black folks, but white folks too, or Latino folks. But a lot of African American larger communities suffer from having a food desert, meaning there is no healthy, sustainable food readily available to the community. So there's no grocery stores that sell a balanced diet, that offer fruits and vegetables, or vegetables and fruits that come from the community. They're not sourced from that particular community, and they have a lot of processed food, a lot of shelves, a lot of bodegos, and a lot of smaller grocery stores that have only instant processed foods that require to be shipped in and stay and maintain for a very long time. You don't have the outer aisles. You don't have the produce section or the fresh meats or the fresh dairies often. You might have some dairy, but very rarely is it the organic or anything fresh or anything of a value. It's all processed. It's all food that ultimately cause you long-term health problems and issues. And so when you look at that fact and you think, okay, why isn't there a grocery store in this community? Because clearly there's a market for it.
Exactly. You can put one there and it would thrive, because it's a need for it.
But
all you need to do is build one, and you're gonna make money because you're the only one there.
So you apply that same analogy, that same thought, that same parallel to the music and the content and the entertainment that we consume. How are we as a people allowing that to take place? One of the things I love about this community right here, the 29203, and shout out to the folks in the community, the people in the community, as well as the leaders in the community, whether that be church leaders, some very active church leaders in this community, as well as some very active politicians in the community who actually work together and do a lot and I was very pleasantly pleased about that. But a lot of areas with this population don't have 2 thriving grocery stores within a 2-mile radius. So right next to us is a Food Lion, and then 3 streets over, I mean literally a short drive distance away, probably 3 minutes away, is a Piggly Wiggly. And both of those are full functioning grocery stores. And then not too far from here, there's a Whole Foods, short drive, but you got to drive to, but there's a Whole Food. My point in saying that is this, that you pull that same analogy to the music. taking us back to what we're talking about today, the music. You have to ask yourself the question, why are we listening what we listening to? Let me go to the comments here. Leon said, EBT won't cover hot foods, but only cold. Interesting. In the grocery store, I see so many people only getting frozen food that is full of preservatives and additives. Wow. Yep. Pop Earl said, has twisted the mindset of Americans. Yes, sir, it has. And Ope says something key. It said it's expensive to eat well. It is very expensive to eat well. And what I always tell people, I know it's expensive to eat well, but medication and medical care is more expensive.
But you think about it. Why did they make it expensive to eat well? Because it's cheaper to grow wholesome food than it is to grow processed stuff.
Yeah.
To produce processed stuff.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that it's less expensive to grow something and put chemicals all over it. You got to pay for chemicals now.
But Pastor Tuck, but here's another thing too, and you know, I'm always going to take it back to the responsibility factor. Even in those food deserts, those areas where they are, people can buy seeds and people can buy potting soil. So, and I'm not saying that's the mindset. I know there's several things that takes time, that takes effort, that takes money.
But and the other thing is, you got to think about the fact that these people are already dealing with the fact that they working, trying to just make it,
surviving.
And they surviving. So now you telling them now they got to take on a whole nother job of growing their own food.
Yeah,
that's what I say. You've put them in a place where they got to make a decision.
Yeah,
a decision that they shouldn't have to make.
Right. So let's talk solutions. I'm gonna read some more comments, and I want to talk solutions, and then I want to point out some lyrics here, because you know I don't like just pointing out problems and issues. I always let the land, if there is one, clear. Let's talk about the solutions. Let me get back to your comments. Papa Earl said the Second Amendment of the Constitution was written for slave owners to carry arms to keep slaves in their place and capture and escape slaves. That amendment is so far outdated that it's ridiculous. But the NRA, that's still highly promoted.
And that's why you better take advantage of your Second Amendment rights to protect yourself against the Second Amendment folks.
Ope said yes at Paul, but I don't have to seek the other music. It's abundantly everywhere. Okay, let me go, because that seems like a great thread right there. Ope said, I used to wonder why there were no black romance songs anymore that were just about love, only about sex and pornography. It's the same thing. Yep. And then Paul said they are. All you have to do is go to Spencer's Gifts in the mall or go to any WWE show. Just like anything else, it's out there if you look for it. WWE? Huh? Paul, clarify that, Paul. Give me some context on that.
That might not have been the answer to that particular question. That don't sound like it.
He said, "Oh wait, it seems like it is." I don't know. Okay, let me see. Folek said, "Love and Marriage, Huntsville." Yeah, that's it. Hot garbage. Put the camera on me. Hot burning garbage. Love and Marriage, Huntsville, or any other cities that Detroit and DC, all of this hot burning garbage. I truly hope it gets canceled. I hope they're not successful. I mean that. You can call me a hater, call me whatever you want to. I hate that is hot garbage. It is, and it's fake. And let me just say something to you. Let me just pose this question to the sisters who consume the majority of that, because not just women, but the majority audience is women who consume that. You gotta ask yourself a question: why are they pumping this to you? You gotta ask yourself some serious questions. And why is this attractive to you? Don't listen. Particularly if you want to be married, don't watch that foolishness. That is hot garbage. You can't consume that and think you want to have a healthy marriage consistently. You can, to the women who are already married. Listen, you don't need to be looking at that. You don't need to be watching a show where everybody got a bunch of dysfunction. Hot garbage. Excuse me. Let me go on back to the comments here. Let me trying to find what that thread that with Paul and Ope was talking. Ope said, I don't watch it. The Holy Spirit instructed me to stop watching it. It's not empowering. Yeah, Ope, please do a post or a room. Shout out to Ope who has some wonderful rooms here on Clubhouse consistently, whether it's morning worship and devotionals or her rooms about future technology, AI, as well as what's the alt space and what have you. So shout out to Ope for what she does. Ope, continue beating the drum, have these conversations, because I think a lot. Again, y'all, I keep telling y'all, the number one demographic in all of advertising that everyone pursues is black females between the age of 35 to 54. They want you guys money because they know you are working. They know you have credit. They know you have the ability to sell and to purchase. So they pursue you. The problem is what they pursue you with in most cases is hot, burning garbage, mess, drama. So if you consume a bunch of mess and a bunch of tea, I hate that terminology. We bringing the tea today.
You got to realize when you talk about hot burning garbage is because that's what you use to start a bonfire. That's what you use to burn a house down.
Boy, Pest Tuck on fire today.
And that's the whole point. That's their whole agenda, is to burn the house down. I told you the whole agenda of everything that's going on in the world right now is to destroy the family.
Yeah, every bit of it, every last bit of it.
Because if you look at society, the enemy is being very strategic.
Very.
The enemy wants to destroy the world, and society was built on the church.
Yeah.
The church was built on the family. The family was built on the man. And so at the core, he starts with the man.
Yep.
So he starts by trying to emasculate the man, imprison the man.
Yep.
Feminize the man.
Yep.
Villainize the man.
Yep. Go ahead, sir.
So he's going to do anything he can to get the man out of position in the household. He's going to over-sexualize him, try to make him think that commitment is not for him.
Right.
He's going to do anything he can to get him out of the household. So now if that's not going to work, so if he can't break up the family that way, the next thing he's going to do is now he's going to start to attack the woman.
Right.
He's going to try to make her hyper-aggressive.
Right.
So independent, she don't need the man.
Right.
So bitter, she don't appreciate a man. I mean, he's going to do everything he can. He's trying to divide a wedge of division in that household.
Yeah.
Because if he can break that household, now he's got free access to those children. Right. And so now he's got a whole nother generation that he's after, because he said, now I've broken some households. I've got children that are uncovered because there's no man there.
That's right.
He said, I've got a woman that's overworked, tired, frustrated,
angry, bitter.
Because she's by herself.
Yep.
And she has children to take care of on her own.
Yeah.
So the children are uncovered. And now my job is to go after these kids. He said, now if I can shape their minds.
Yep.
To understand, to make them think that family is nothing that they're ever supposed to have, then they can never build a strong foundation. And so society is totally unstable. And while society is totally unstable, I can do whatever I want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's been his game. And so he's coming at us from all these different angles, but all of the angles come back to the one point. And so that's why we've got to recognize everything that we do has to look the same. Everything has to go back to that simple point.
Yeah.
We've got to get back to the word and do it the way God told us to do it. And that's where we keep missing it, because everybody, you talked about this in the beginning. You talked about this music thing. You talking about this programming thing in your house and all this. It's like you've got to recognize, because in society now we have this issue of wanting to be friends with our kids. We want to be popular with our kids. We want our kids to dude, you got to parent your children.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to get to the point where you're like, no, this ain't coming in here. You're not listening to that. Take them things out your ears.
Yeah.
You got to be mindful of what's coming in your household, because it's not just about them being children. Your job is preparing them to be adults, to build a family, to maintain society. And generations are dependent upon that.
And there is no leadership role that comes without confrontation.
Exactly.
So whether you're a pastor, whether you're a mom or dad, whether you're a coach, how many coaches have to yell at players? And I don't say you have to, but sometimes you do have to confront things in a confrontational way, in an aggressive way, particularly in the heat of the moment, because you are trying to prepare them for victory. You prepare them for confrontation, for combat, for competition. So you can't always do that with a high five. You can't always do that with you like me, the fun way. You got to push your foot down sometime. And that's, as parents, you got to be willing to do that too. You have to be willing. You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. You have to be comfortable with your children not liking you. You have to be comfortable. Sometimes even your spouse may not like you. You have to be comfortable with your children's teachers not liking you. You have to be comfortable with people in your family not liking you. You have to be comfortable with people in your community and your neighborhood not liking you, because you don't want your child to come to their house to spend the night, because I don't know you like that, and I really don't much care whether you don't like me or you think I'm stuck up or whatever it is. I don't know you, ma'am. I don't know you, sir. My kids can't spend the night over there, period. We have to be comfortable with those particular things because you have to protect the community. The issue comes in is a lot of times that's daddy's job. That's daddy's job to say no. And when daddy ain't in the house, the enemy can run amok. When daddy not in the house, strange men can come in the house and date mama who should not be there. We're playing music. We're creating a culture. We're creating a community. We're creating a media context and a system that is pumping foolishness and garbage to our families, and we wondering why we're in the place that we are. And then people who have families and trying to build successful families, you got to deal with the effects of culture, the effects of other children, the effects of school, the effects of the community, the effects of media, arts, and entertainment on your children. And it's hard, because sometimes even in churches today, people are so ready to welcome in the enemy's culture and the enemy's narrative, trying to be cool and be accepting. No, man, sometimes you got to say no, and sometimes, dare I say, you got to say no.
No, you said it right the first time. Sometimes you got to say hell no.
Daily
it's not going around here. It's not going around here. And somebody got to play the villain. In every good story, you say it all the time. Every good story, there's a villain. And 80% of my wardrobe is either black or red, because I don't mind playing the villain. And if somebody got to bleed, it's going to be me. But I'm telling you now, I don't mind taking that sacrifice.
A big genesis of this conversation today was by what I was exposed to on yesterday. I was able to look at the parallels to create some opposing views, to look at it and do a bit of a cultural test, to look at this and listen to this and judge it, cross-reference it. And it was stunning. Again, I played a clip from Pastor Michael T. Smith earlier. And he's spelling out and asking a question, a hard question, about why do the media companies and these media outlets play such horrible content, violent content, overly sexualized content. I added the sexual part. He didn't per se. But why do we play this to our community? And I was listening to these two stations. So I listened to R&B station, then I flipped over and I just said, let me check the country station. Because again, I don't listen to a lot of local radio. Man, some of the music that was on our local stations. Tristan, pull the lyrics to that Usher song. Usher has a song called Glue. Yeah, I know the look on your face says it all, Tristan. Yeah, look, pull the lyrics to that Usher song. Let me play some of the music that again. Here, let me just say this too. What's really telling about a lot of this music, Pastor Tuck, is that a lot of this music today is being played in the middle of the day. There was a time when Millie Jackson was played late at night on the radio. You know, you wasn't playing Millie Jackson, in the 12 o'clock in the middle of the day.
It was a time where you weren't gonna play any deeply I wouldn't even call it sexual, but you wouldn't even play any deeply suggestive songs until a certain time of night. They call it the quiet storm.
Yeah. The quiet storm. I mean,
and that was after 10 o'clock.
Right. I ain't gonna sit in front. I didn't enjoy some Quiet Storm, but it was the Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind and Fire. Wasn't just deep, overly sexualized. Did you put Pound Town in these lyrics, Tristan? Yeah, I told you put Pound Town. You can't Be worrying about trying to save me.
Tristan say he's censoring the show. he is pulling his executive. He is pulling his executive executive order on this. Tristan said no. Pound Town is going too far.
Tristan, pull the list to
Tristan said Pound Town is going too far.
Pull the list to Pound Town.
Pound Town is going too far.
Usher glue.
Listen to the Lord, Tristan.
Drop this in the comments.
Tristan said Pound Town is going too far. Tristan said Pound Town is going too far.
Okay. So here's some of the stuff. Let me tell you some of the nonsense that's being. And again, let me say this to you. If you got a kid, you riding around in the car and y'all listening to the hip hop and R&B station in the back seat, in the car seat singing the song, check yourself. Check what you're doing. I'm just gonna read this is the number one song based on what Tristan says. It's called All Mine by Brent Faiyaz. I never heard of him. All Mine. I actually pulled the video up. Let me play the song. I'm not gonna play the song, but I'm gonna read the lyrics. So it says, "It's all right, yeah, you know it feels, yeah, all mine, yeah." He does that all mine a few times. Baby, let's keep it real. We both still young, so what's the rush? The night is young and we not drunk enough. You come around if I don't do too much. We had our downs and we had more ups. Let's make love. That be the reason that you always hit me up. I swear. You like the way I F-U-C-K, because I get rough. You told me your new man don't make you. This on the radio. That's a blank shame. You come here, I'll knock you out the frame. This is slow jam.
You can stop right there.
This is slow music. This is on the radio. This is the number one song in the country according to our research. How is that?
But see, that's because it's no different than what you call it. What's your boy named Robert Kelly that's in jail right now?
Yeah,
the Pied Piper.
Yeah,
they have listened to the Pied Piper. They have gone down, following behind the beat, and they're following him to a path of destruction.
Yeah,
and it's crazy. You know, Mary Motley said something on Facebook. She said it's hard to find clean content for children.
Yeah,
and you know, it may be difficult, but it's no different than if your child had a gluten allergy.
Yeah,
it's no different if your child, if you wanted to feed your child organic. It's how important is this to us, and that's the problem. We take certain things. Watch this. I don't. You know, I'm not a sneakerhead, so I don't know some of these shoes that are so exclusive. Some of these shoes that when they come out, you got to sit and wait around the block and camp out to get them. And these darn phones that Akis has such an affection for that people stay up and spend the night and camp out the store and all that kind of stuff. But guess what? It's hard to get them phones. It's hard to find them shoes. It's hard to find those games.
Yeah.
But for some reason, our kids still got those phones, those shoes, and those games,
and these tablets,
and
these laptops.
If we willing to camp out, run all over the city, and do all these things to make sure that they got the clothes, the shoes they want, the phones they want, the games they want.
Yeah.
Why are we not willing to put in the effort to make sure they have the content that they need? And that's my problem with people parenting nowadays. You willing to give them the stuff they want to pacify them, but you're not willing to give them the stuff they need to nourish them.
Yeah.
And then we complain about how they're turning out.
Because they will raise up and cuss you. They will raise up and tell you what they are and will not do. Yeah, I mean, and you gotta understand that, y'all. We are in a detrimental. We at a point in our society that we really have to pause and take stock. And I'm looking at some of the comments in over here on Clubhouse. And I'm gonna swing over. Pastor, please thank you for checking out the comments over on Facebook. Carrie said Usher's music is strange. He'll start out wholesome and then add layers of something lewd to attract today's crowd. When I first heard that Usher had a show in Vegas, I was like, oh, okay. I said, I ain't no Usher fan, and I definitely don't support his lyrics in his content. I said, that's probably a good business move. I said, probably a pretty good entertaining show. Man, I saw a video from that show. Man, Usher need his behind whipped. You gotta
recognize.
No, you Pastor. I don't know if you've seen it. I'm talking about Usher need his behind. I'm talking about.
I told you it's some show. It's some show on Netflix that is talking about black music, I think, or something like that. And they were talking about it. That's how I figured out he had a residency there.
So some show on Netflix is talking about it in a negative way or
no. They're talking about like a resurgence in black music and all this kind of stuff.
That's not.
And they're basically talking about Black Vegas. Now they talking about how the young black guys are taking over Vegas, and how our music is now the new Vegas and all this kind of stuff. It used to be the Celine Dion's and all this kind of stuff, but now all of the young up and coming black artists now have residencies and all this kind of stuff. And I think I had something on Hulu and they fallen asleep, and this just popped up, and when I woke up it was on, and so that's how I saw it. And I was like, and I saw the thing like he was talking about basically. He basically had built a strip club.
Yeah, and
he said he got strippers 50 feet in the air, and I'm like,
but naked,
and then he
coming down the pole.
Brought a little Atlanta culture here, and he bragging on like he done something, and I'm like, bruh, stop.
Yeah.
I think the issue is this, we as black people consume stuff on a surface level. And somebody probably ain't gonna like what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna tell it like it is.
Say it.
We as a culture, as a whole, as a majority, I'm generalizing people before you even get mad.
Don't get mad, but say it.
But generalizing, we like the way things feel. We like the way things look.
Exactly.
We buy with our senses. And so if I can make something that has a good beat to it, my voice is lyrically, you're not going to pay any attention to the substance.
Right.
It's the same way we do politically.
Yeah.
If the candidate looks nice, is charismatic, he looks like me, I'm voting for him.
So it has a particular message.
His politics looks like.
Yeah.
I don't care what his politics look like. See, because that's what we do. We don't actually dig deeper and go into the substance of things because we want things to look a certain way. We become surface level on things, and that's why we do things. That's why. And watch this.
We are emotional consumers.
Yes,
we make decisions based on emotions,
and that's one of the reasons why we don't homeschool our kids, because homeschooling ain't sexy.
Right. It take a lot of work.
It's not popular.
No.
It's not popular.
Yeah.
You're seen as one of the weirdos if you homeschool your kids.
Right.
But you will, and then the first thing they'll tell you, it's too expensive to send your kids to a Christian school or to homeschool your kids and all this kind of stuff. But like I said, they got the latest Jordans on. They got the iPhone 89. They got, PlayStation 64.
Yeah.
I mean, they got everything. The stuff they got costs more than the car in the driveway.
Yeah. Yeah.
At 9 years old, but you telling me you can't afford to send them and get them educated properly.
We're financially depressed. We live in an area that's financially depressed. We live in food deserts. We don't have a college fund. We have serious issues, financial issues facing our family. And I'm not talking about those people who are caught or stuck in negative situations and cycles that they're trying to get out of. I'm talking about people who have options, meaning you're spending money on $150, $60, $200 pair of sneakers. You're buying a $450, $500 game console. You're paying for tablets. Your child has the brand new iPhone. An iPhone that costs $1,200 and $1,500, you making a monthly payment on a 3-year contract for an iPhone for a child that just got put out of school. And you have you can barely say anything about what that son or daughter listens to. And then we celebrate this culture that we allow our children to talk back to us and defame us. And I've seen TV show after TV show, new show that I like right now. The daughter talks to the mother, and I saw this scene the other night, Sunday. This Sunday, I can't promote the show, but it's a good show, but I can't promote it because of what the context of it. But the daughter told her mother something, and they played it like it was truth, and she had the right to say it. And I was like, if you don't slap her in her mouth, M-O-U-F, you don't talk to your mama like that. What the heck are y'all promoting? What are you talking about? And then you wonder why kids go up and can't function in society because they run up against a system that's based on discipline, structure, and order, and you train them not to support or respect discipline, structure, and order. We are pumping foolishness and confusion in our families, and it is utter ridiculous.
Watch this. People thought I was crazy. I got a 20-year-old and a 23-year-old, and when they were small, one of the big shows that was out on TV was called The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
The devil.
It was a show on Disney Channel with two little
10-year-old
twin little white boys.
Yep.
And their mama worked at a hotel, and they lived in a hotel.
Yep.
And it was a little black guy that was the male figure on the hotel on the show.
Yep.
And he was like the general manager at the hotel.
Yep.
And they were always making a fool out of him. They were doing whatever they wanted. The mama was never around.
Yep.
They were making a fool out of everybody on the show. Disrespectful, disobedient, doing everything, and everybody thought the show was hilarious.
Yep.
And people were like, and my kids couldn't watch it. And they were like, why they can't watch that? That's just a kid's show.
Ain't no kids show.
I said that is a spirit of disobedience right there. That's a spirit of rebellion. I said my kids will not eat that.
They can't consume it. You can't play around with that. And watch here's one of the number one things with that show. There was a whole flow of shows like that, and one of the biggest trends in all of those shows, they always had the father out the house. The father was either not in the picture at all, or he was always leaving. The daddy always left at the top of the show and came back at the end of the show. Even Master P played into the foolishness because the show that he had with him and Lil Romeo, every day Master P goes to the studio, he goes to work, and he goes out of town, and then Lil Romeo has the rest of the show to run amok. It's the same formula, it's the same playbook, and it's designed to make children think that I can confuse and make a fool out of adults, and it makes you think that men are dumb, men are stupid, and I don't have to respect men. That is a bigger, broader context, a bigger cultural narrative, a bigger cultural strategy that's designed to tear down the family. And that ain't just black families. That's all families.
Yep. Because we grew up in the day where Ward Cleaver came home, it was a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait till your father gets home, Beaver.
Yeah.
Wally,
it was a problem.
Wait till your dad gets home. Yeah. When good times, Michael, when James came home, Michael got got his behind toe up. They ain't show the licks.
Boy, but when James came home and slammed that door, the whole apartment shook.
Come on.
And everybody stopped moving.
God dang it, Junior, I don't feel like this today. Michael, God dang it, I don't feel like this today. He took Michael in that bedroom, and Michael come out rubbing his behind because James fired his behind up. They didn't show it, but it was implied.
You remember the episode where he brought the little bad tail boy home?
Oh, yeah.
And the little boy was at the table talking trash, and James took that joke in the room and beat him?
Little boy with the perm?
Yeah. James done beat the boy. The boy like, I don't live here. James like, that's all right.
James drugged that joke in the other room.
James said, you gonna stay up in here, you gonna get what everybody else get up in here.
Come on. Where's James Evans on TV today?
Yeah, then they gonna kill James off. I'm like, come on, man.
Well, the true content. James killed himself off. James wanted more money, and James wouldn't
budge.
budge.
Got hot why? Because they wanted to glorify the buffoonish son
James,
instead of the daddy.
No, to be clear, to protect. I'm gonna stand for the producers on this. James said himself. He said in hindsight, he should have took the money and came back on the show. That's what James said.
Yeah. But James said why? Because James said they wanted to glorify the buffoon.
James wanted more money. James was like,
James was mad because they were paying JJ, the fool on the show, the son on the show, and James was like, this show supposed to be about the strong daddy in the house. And y'all done glorified this son over here acting ignorant.
And that's what happens. I've said this before. That's what happens when you have people in play. Ask Eric Monty, one of the producers on the show, who was actually one of the co-creators on the show, who they then pushed off the show, right? Asked Eric Monty because they wanted to. They got to a point where it became more about numbers and money than content, than values. As a matter of fact, people don't realize Good Times was actually a show that was developed for Esther Roll.
Yep.
The show was based around her, and then Esther Rose said they start casting the kids, and they start casting her friend, and they said if I don't have a husband on the, she said if I don't have a husband on the show, I'm not doing the show.
Doing it.
So, because the show Good Times was a spinoff of Maude. Esther Roll played the maid on Maude, and then and then she got the show Good Times, and they wanted to develop a show. She said, "If I don't have a husband, I'm not doing the show." That's when they brought John Amos to the table. One of the biggest alpha males ever. John Amos is pure alpha male all day long, alpha energy all day. But my point in saying that is then it went to the foolishness. And guess what? After James left the show, after John Amos stood up, he held out for more money, and they called him and they said they're not bringing you back. They're not even bringing you back to kill you. You're gonna be going off. You're gonna have a job in Texas, and then you're gonna die on one of the shows. The show lasted one season after that.
Yep.
My point is saying that is you have to recognize that there's a larger system. It ain't all a room full of dirty, egregious people coming up with ways to take down culture, but it is a room of people who are trying to control the narrative. There is a room of people who's trying to make money off of you, the consumer. But there's also, we wrestle not against flesh and blood and spiritual principalities, but not against flesh and blood and people. We wrestle spiritual principalities in high places. There's a spirit that is designed, that's perfectly fashioned for you to take your family out. There's a spirit that's designed to take your community out. That's a spirit that's trying to weaken you as a man, to take you out of your community. There's a spirit that's trying to make you harsh as a woman, to make you too sassy as a woman to deal with a good man. It's a big system. And guess what, y'all? The problem is, God dog it's working.
Yep.
That's the problem. Let's go to these comments, y'all. Go ahead, Pastor.
Facebook, Pastor Stephanie said, we censored their library books too from the public library. They put books in the tween section, and trust me, some of the books were worse than an explicit romance novel. She said, and Florida would submit to authority that was issued too. If she didn't agree, she would talk to him and soften his wrath afterwards. When James Evans' nose holes flared, them eyes hardened, look out.
And Florida would sit on James' lap, and she'd whisper and she'd talk to him. And then he'd be like, now, Florida, I know what you're trying to do. And then she was like, James, just think about it. And guess what?
And then she would go and pray.
Yeah. She never disrespected James. And guess what? If James said no, then it was no. Ooh, that's a whole other conversation right there. Oh, Ashley Bailey said, when has Usher ever been wholesome? Usher has always been a whole no. Been a whole. LOL. Carrie said, yep, at Ope. He's laughing. Carrie's also laughing at Ashley. Ope said he's very popular though, Ashley. Here's the thing about Usher. Here's a big trend. A lot of black women are flying, taking Vegas trips, spending good money on hotels, on alcohol, on food, on airplane flights to go see Usher's Vegas show. And really, here's the thing, ladies. Usher's Vegas show is making a mockery of women. Usher's Vegas show, he has women hanging from poles, going up and down poles. Now you can say, oh girl, they getting their money, whatever. You got one man in a room full of women making money off you. That's denigrating you. That's saying you don't have enough value for me to be faithful, to me to be honest with you. And you spending $200 on the ticket.
And the ones that's doing it will be the first ones fussing it because they man ain't faithful. But you celebrate a man that's not faithful.
That's crazy to me.
Y'all better see this. You celebrate a man that's not faithful, talking about, ooh, that's my man right there. And that joker ain't faithful nowhere to nobody and celebrates unfaithfulness. You listen to this, you program this, and then when you get a man, you talk about all men and dogs ain't none of them faithful.
These Are My Confessions is a whole song about Usher talking about my chick on the side got one on the way. You flying to Vegas, spending your good hard-earned dollars to go to Vegas and sit in the song and recite lyrics and let Usher come around up into the stands and bump and grind in your face and you sit right there and celebrate it. That's foolishness. How ignorant are you? You spending good money that you could be investing. You spend on that trip. That's at least a $3,000 trip. By the time you factor in food, by the time you factor in hotel, by the time you factor in flights, by the time if you gamble while you out there, by the time you go and buy something, you buy some merch. Oh, you're buying plenty of Usher t-shirts. You're buying plenty of hats and all kind of trinkets to remember this moment, this day of foolishness. Man, we celebrate nonsense and other cultures laugh at us and the enemy laughs at us, and that's why people mock us. Stay right there, family. We coming back. We about to wrap this show up. We still got some more. I only read one lyric. I got to get some country lyrics in. Family, don't y'all move. This is the Akintunde Show.
Greetings. I am Darryl Presley, owner and operator of Presley Cares Mortuary Services of West Columbia, South Carolina. Our mission here at Presley's is to provide excellent, quality, superior funeral service to all, regardless of economic status, religion, or race, with our society being embedded with a diverse class of people. Our staff here at Presley's pledges to offer only one class of service, and that is superior. So rendering professional services to the families that call upon us is not an option, it's mandatory. Presley Cares Mortuary Services, where we are caring for you and your loved one.
It's the Akintunde Show.
Say what? Say what?
You heard what I said.
That's right, y'all.
The Akintunde Show.
Spell it.
A-K-I-N Tunde.
And B Promotionals, and you're inside the Akintunde Show.
Coming up this Sunday, family. First Sundays this Sunday, y'all. Listen, I need y'all to make sure y'all are in the house. We got a hilarious lineup of comedians, and I want y'all to come through, laugh, have a good time, and listen, go and get your tickets right now. It's firstsundayscomedy.com, firstsundayscomedy.com. Go ahead and get your tickets right now. You can get your online virtual tickets, or you can get your tickets to be in the house. Shout out to everyone who regularly, consistently supports First Sundays. Thank y'all for coming out and laughing. Thank y'all to the Ox Show family, to our WF Media Group supporters, and just amazing people who support First Sundays. Tickets right now are available. Get them right now. Remember, the free wings start at 5. The show starts at 6 o'clock on the dot. We always start on time. Every first Sunday is First Sundays. firstsundayscomedy.com. Pastor Tuck, let's get ready to land this plane, sir. Man, let me see here. I'm gonna read y'all the lyric. I'm trying to get one R&B lyric in. I'm gonna read this lyric of and then get a country lyric in. I'll touch that fire. This is Snooze. This the song title? Is this the artist? Is that the song title or the artist? Song title? Okay. All right. Song title is Snooze. I'll touch that fire for you. I do that 3-4 times again. I testify for you. It's on the radio. I told that lie. I'll kill that. What? Huh? I told that lie. I killed that bee. I do what all of them around you scared to do. I'm not. Long as you jugging out here for me, I got it. Mobbing, scheming, looting, hide your bodies. Long as you dreaming about me, ain't no problem. I don't get nobody just with you right now. Tell the truth. I look better under you. Good Lord. Oh, it's a woman. I can't lose when I'm with you. How can I snooze and miss the moment? It's a woman singing, pledging her allegiance to some dude who out here killing folks, and so she telling him she gonna hide the body. She gonna help him do all this.
Wow.
Man, this is
ignorance.
This is, man, listen. Can I say something, y'all? It ain't just ignorant. It's dumb, y'all. It's dumb. This dumb stuff. this other dumb stuff. And people who know better, it's like oh my God. Eunice and I were checking into a hotel in Atlanta on Saturday, and it was just 3 young black ladies, young black women, because they wasn't ladies. And 2 of them was so ratchet. One of them was so ratchet. She was like Tiffany Haddish on steroids. And she was walking through the lobby with some liquor, telling some guys, I got you. I'm going to do this. Y'all get with us. We got this liquor and da-da-da-da. And I remember the face of some Caucasian people who were standing by the side. And they were looking like, what the heck? I mean, the stuff that she was saying was it was so egregious and ghetto. Here's what's crazy about it. It messed the whole hotel up for Eunice. She was like, this hotel is ghetto. I said, no. I said, the hotel ain't ghetto. I said, no ghetto about this hotel. This hotel ain't cheap. The hotel is $45 for valet parking and $36 for regular parking. This ain't cheap. This ain't a ghetto hotel. This is a nice hotel. They ghetto.
The problem is the mindset of ghetto has made it to folks with money. It used to be ghetto mindset was in broke folks.
Yeah.
Now folks with money have taken the mindset of the ghetto with them. You used to could go places that cost more money and escape that attitude,
escape the atmosphere,
that mentality. But that mentality has now creeped into people with money.
Yeah,
because they have not they left the projects, but they took the projects with them.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah. And I've seen that on numerous occasions, and I'm like, man, where do I need to go? I need to stay home.
Yeah, you might have to today.
That's about where I am now. That's why I'm like, I try to make my house as nice as possible so I don't have to leave.
This is the number 3 country song in the country. This is crazy. The difference. I'm not saying this ain't a Christian lyric. Let me preface this by saying that. But I'll wait for you in your love, Tyler Childers. I don't know who Tyler Childers is. Never heard the song. I'm just reading the lyrics. I'll wait for you till the sun turns into ashes. And bows down to the moon. I'll wait for you. It's a long, hard war. But I can grin and bear it, 'cause I'll know what the heck I'm fighting for. And I'll wait for you. We were never made to run forever. We were just meant to go long enough to find what we were chasing after. I believe I found it here in your love. I will stand my ground. I'm a bad man looking for takers. You're the finest thing around, so I will stand my ground. 'Cause it's cold out there, and you know some men search for ages for the love that I have found, so I will stand my ground. Again, this ain't Christian lyrics. I'm saying somebody saying I'll wait for you is a drastically different than this utter nonsense that we pumping to our children, to our young people, to Generation Z and Generation Alpha. This is crazy. Let me read one more. Never Not Remember You. Again, I just told Tristan to pull the lyrics of the top 5 country songs in the country. I know you're up in heaven, but D, it hurts like heck, 'cause I'd just be pretending if I said anything else. I know God don't make mistakes, but this sure feels like one. That won't change the facts. That won't bring you back. So I'll cry 'cause it's over. Smile because we had you. Packed a whole lot of living, even though it ended all too soon. In time, I'll start healing. But even when I get that feeling, don't matter where I go or what I do, I'll never not remember you. Thank God for the memories and pictures on my phone. They don't feel the empty, but I feel as less alone. And I know you're with the angels, right where you belong, 'cause you were one to us. You left a legacy of love. Is somebody talking about either a wife or a spouse or a girlfriend that they lost. That's a number 4 country song in the country. This is let's look at this.
To say goodbye. The banjo's in the back.
Look, the number one. Who is this dude? Brent Fires. Who is he? Tristan.
You don't know who Brent Fires is?
This is the R&B joke. I'm not even doing it. I'm sorry. I'm just appalled.
I'm telling you, man.
At the hot garbage-ness.
It's nothing but some crazy.
Yeah. And listen, y'all, I encourage y'all, we got to get up out of here, but I would encourage y'all to engage your children about the music they listen to. Ask them about the lyrics or the content whatever they're singing. If they like a song, ask them about the song. I don't care what age they are. And listen, you should not be allowing your children to listen to whatever they want to. There's no such thing as you have rights when you 10, 12, 14, 15, 17, 18 years old. You live in the house with me and I pay for your phone, I pay for your room, and you got to talk to me. I will tell you what to do. I will check your phone. I will ask you where you're going. And if you got a phone, you paying a phone bill for somebody and you can't snatch their phone at will, and if you worry about some blowback, it's a doggone problem. We gotta get up out of here. I gotta hop on Pastor Lenny praise party.
Better know it.
Woo! Yo, it was a good show today. Great content, great insight. I didn't get a chance to read not even a quarter of y'all comments. Y'all was on fire in the comments today. Y'all make sure y'all listen to After the Ox Show with Paul and Ashley and Celeste. Y'all make sure y'all swing over to the After the Ox Show room. The link is in the comments. Yeah. Pastor Tuck, final thoughts, sir.
Hey, man, you got to be careful what you're listening to. The Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks.
Come on.
And it says, guard your heart, for out of it flows the issues of life.
Woo! The issues of
life. So the
life.
stuff that you allow to get in through your ear gates, your eye gates, your mouth gate, that's what's going to produce the problems that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful of the programming. That's why I don't watch anything. That's why I don't watch regular TV and I don't listen to regular radio. Anything I choose is on demand. I'm very specific about what I take in.
Yeah. Y'all, listen, family. We'll be right back here Thursday. And Thursday we coming up, we're talking about, would you eat lab meat? Would you eat what they call cultivated meat? The USDA has made legal companies to create laboratory chicken. Now they're working on laboratory beef. So it's now a thing. A company out of California, go figure, is actually putting it out. I'm sorry, California. And now what they're saying is, as soon as they figure out how to scale it, it'll be in your grocery stores. And guess what? Because it's meat, they don't even have to tell you that it's laboratory meat, because the USDA USDA has legalized and called it meat. Ooh, what else is that like? Ooh, the foolishness, the level of debauchery, ignorance, and pure jackassness that's going on today is on a stunning level.
The love of money is the root of all evil.
Take too long to raise a chicken, a good, healthy, grown chicken, adult chicken. The 6 weeks hormone chickens is too fast. Now we're gonna give you some straight fake meat. Yeah, made out of chicken cultures. Y'all, we got to get up out of here. All right, fam. We love y'all. We thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. First Sundays this Sunday. Go ahead and get y'all tickets right now. Log on to firstsundayscomedy.com and get them tickets. I didn't have a chance to talk about the Stellar Wars. Not that I didn't have a chance. We didn't make time to talk about the Stellar Wars. Huge shout out to Central City Productions, who made history, and I was glad to be a part of that history. The first Stellar Awards on the brand new Stellar TV channel happened this week. I got a chance to host the red carpet along with Angel Taylor and what's the little girl name? What's the little young lady name?
I missed it.
Gospel. What's the big singer, big voice. Why can't I remember her name? I'm drawing a blank. I'm sorry.
Kiki Sheard?
No, not Kiki Sheard. The other one. They co-hosted together last year. Jacqueline Carr. Thank you. Jacqueline Carr, Angel Taylor, myself, yours truly hosted the red carpet, the very first ever red carpet, or as Stella calls it, blue carpet ceremony on the Stella Awards, and it actually aired on the brand new Stella TV. This is the first time that the Stella Awards premiered on the Stella TV network before anything else. So glad to have given out an award, presented an award along with I missed people's name out. Yeah, listen, great time.
I missed it, man.
I know too. Yeah, well, you had to have either on Spectrum Cable or Verizon Vios. Later, it'll be on BET coming up on August 6th. It'll be on Bounce TV later on. But check your local TV stations. Your local TV stations is running it right now in network syndication. You can also log on to StellaTV.com and check the website, or Stella Awards and check the website, because they have the full list of stations. So this the beautiful thing about this. Shout out to Central City Productions for this. The Stella Awards will reach the largest audience it has ever reached in history with this distribution. It's on 3 major black cable networks as well as network syndication, and it's streaming on Zumo and other apps. So shout out again to Mr. Don Jackson, the entire Central City Productions family, and I appreciate them for allowing me to participate and be a part of the Stella Awards. Hey family, we'll be right back here Thursday. Would you eat that fake meat? Would you try it? Some of y'all might be eating it and don't even know it. This is the Akintunde Show. That's Pastor Lewis Tucker. I'm out. Until then, we're gonna see y'all when we see y'all. Peace.